Hello everyone, it's David again. We are on Babylon 5, Season 5, Episode 20, Objects in Motion. Gonna be just a brief rundown of this episode, a quick commentary, and then we'll be heading into the final two episodes of the regular, or I should say the last season of the most recent Babylon 5 incarnation. But we've got a new reprieve coming on, maybe later this year, who knows, knock on wood. Might get Babylon 5.1, 5.2, who knows? At any rate, Objects in Motion, head of Mars until the former number one tells Lise and Michael Garibaldi that someone is trying to kill them. We cue on into the last entrance, or some of the last entrances. Michael and Lise arrange to get married. President Sheridan and Zach Allen devise a scheme to get the killer out in the open. And sure enough, it's successful, except for G'Kar also has a religious killer after him. Kind of reminded me a little bit of Mahatma Gandhi of India, who was killed by a religious zealot within his own religion, believe it or not. I hate to sound, not that I wished Gandhi to be dead, but thank God it was not a Muslim extremist, because that bloodbath would have just been unimaginable. If Mahatma Gandhi would have been taken out by a Muslim extremist or even a Christian extremist, the recriminations and everything would have just been, and the bloodbath would have been unreal. But when you zip on island, Lisa and Michael Garibaldi are married in MedLab. I can tell you, as someone who was a nurse, that happens a lot sometimes, especially on units where you get patients who are back and forth a lot. Cancer wards are, I don't want to say notorious for it, because it's actually usually a pretty good, wonderful occasion, is to watch your patients getting married and stuff. And I'm trying to remember if I've never been one exactly in the hospital where one of my patients was got married, because usually on our respiratory floors, people got well and went home, or sadly, a lot of them didn't make it, and they went to the morgue and instead of to the chapel, to the marriage chapel. But at any rate, Lyta removes her own restraints and leaves with G'Kar to go on their merry way. And you sense that there's spinning off, or lots of little ideas in here for follow-on episodes if Babylon 5 had been scheduled for a Season 6, which I don't think that was ever really into consideration. But for spin-off movie ideas and things like that, or maybe even for the Babylon 5 incarnation that we're coming on, there's some good ideas that might be interwoven between the original series and now. That's why I recommend to people to please get, if you can at all humanely, now get the old Babylon 5, watch it now before you have to get hemmed in by, trying to figure out what's going on between the old series and the new series and things like that. But at any rate, Michael Garibaldi introduces number one as the new head of intelligence for the whole alliance. And it ends with Delenn walking with John Sheridan, Babylon 5 end to end for the first time. So, 2 more episodes to go, and then we've still got the movies. This one kind of reminds me of as I was leaving my last job, my nursing job. For those who haven't, I was a registered nurse at Providence Portland Medical Center in Northeast Portland, Oregon for 15 years. And I popped and injured my back turning a patient, helping get a patient taken care of. And I left under such toxic circumstances that I literally could not wait to get out of that building. And to go back, I actually find I didn't miss it, the building, that much as I thought I was going to. Because, as nurses, we're always told that if we're not there to personally hold up the walls, the whole thing will collapse without us. I can tell you, as someone who's been out now for over 10 years, that's not true. Trust me, I've driven by that building, I've driven through it, I've walked through it many times. It's still there. Okay? And it probably will be there for many more decades yet to come. Okay, as long as there's a city of Portland, Oregon, and as long as people need to go to the hospital, they will be there in some way or some fashion. Okay? What I do miss is I miss the people. But now, because of things of like technology, I find that it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Because I found a couple of them that live in the area where I live right now, and I can go and see one in less than an hour drive from me, if I get that lonely for it. So, and a lot of my friends up in Alaska, we've got our own Facebook group now. I miss the way things were, back when mom and dad were paying for all the bills, and we had the same group of kids, and technology hadn't taken quite as root, so we were much more reliant on our imaginations for activities and things to do, instead of just sitting in front of a computer screen all day. So, at any rate, it's been kind of a nice treat, though, to walk down memory lane with you guys on this episode of Babylon 5, and I think I'm going to miss, that's why I maybe have dragged out the last few episodes, is because it's like, okay, now what am I going to do after this? Probably do a lot more research into the upcoming Babylon 5 and seeing what information I can find and cobble together out there and put together in some sort of format that you guys will want to watch. That will also not infringe on anyone's copyright statutes, laws, whatever happens. But 2 more episodes to go. See you next episode. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and share.